Today's video is a book video and it includes my 81 unread books.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something that features.
We're gonna kind of talk about why they're unread. Some of them, not all of them. It'll be fun. I'm gonna adjust a little bit. I love watching these videos, so I thought, why not make my own? I have read 11 books so far this year, and it's April, and my goal was 10. So I've already finished that, so I kind of want to go over these. Also, I've only read that many books because of Libby. I think 9 out of 11 of them were audiobooks. Let's start with the pile closest to me. Legends and Lattes, just haven't been in the mood for it yet. If We Were Villains, I feel like I'm gonna be too stupid to read this. I feel like I'm just not gonna understand If We Were Villains. That'd be really embarrassing considering I'm so excited for it. No excuse, not in my Greek mythology era right now. Honestly, I should keep Making Love with the Land out because it is short stories. So I feel like it would be a quicker read, and I've been really anticipating this. So I'm going to set it aside on a different pile than like the unread ones, because some of these I honestly forget that I have. Tried this, but it was on audiobook, didn't love it, so I stopped. Gonna give it another shot before I donate it. Haven't gotten around to this one yet. This one, I don't even think The Poison Season is mine. I was actually keeping my friend Sarah Grace's books here for a while. I was like storing them for her, and I think I forgot to send some back. Is this one yours, Sarah Grace? Please let me know. Thanks. Again, Greek mythology. This is just mythology. This is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It is more, it's Asian, but does it say specifically what kind of mythology it is back here? I don't want to assume. I've not been in my mythology era and have not been in my mythology era. Sarah Grace bought me most of those, thank you. Sisterhood Everlasting is like the continuation of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Haven't read any of those, so I just haven't read this one. Haven't been in the mood for like death related stories. Just haven't gone to it, and not in the mood for classics right now. I like listen to Little Woman a couple times on audiobook, and every time I do, I just send it back before I finish it because I'm like, I just can't get into it. I've tried to read this like 3 times and I just can't get into it, but I really think that I would love this if I gave it the time. The Molten Key is actually from one of my mutuals on TikTok, one of my friends. I just honestly haven't gotten around. I'm like not in a super big fantasy war mood. I haven't been in a while, but I'm definitely gonna read this soon because I love supporting like small authors. I started this and I didn't finish. Don't ask me why. They both died at the end. I don't want to cry. Le Petit Prince, I have read. This is actually, is it? I think it is. It's a school book and I just never gave it back. Oh yeah, it's a school book. It was my French teacher who passed away very suddenly. We were like super close. It was her favorite book. So when I got back from university and I realized I still had it and she had passed away, I was like, I'm never giving it back. I might set this aside to read this. Hotel Magnifique, just haven't been drawn to it. Good Girl Bad Blood, I did read. Gotta put that in the other pile. Not in the mood for this. I have to be in the right headspace for like a Disney style book, so I haven't read this either, but I'm very excited for it. And this is like an activity book, which I have started, just haven't finished, and this book is anti-racist, and it is 20 lessons on how to wake up, take action, and do the work. So since it's an activity book, I'd have to like have my notebook out and stuff, so I just haven't continued that. Are you laughing at me? Raheem's sitting right there playing games, and I actually get so embarrassed filming in front of people. Like, not when I'm like vlogging I don't care, but when I'm like filming a sit-down video and they're like listening to me, it's actually the most embarrassing thing ever. My aunt went to the States and got me this. She got me and my sister each one, and it's really good. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. After the 5th book, my heart was literally shattered, and when I started reading the series, that's when a lot of things came out about the author, and it kind of made me sad, like the more I read into it, that I was like, I obviously want to continue the series because now I love them, but like it just makes me sad. But I'm very excited to like finish it so I can like get in on the jokes, and my mom bought me like a magazine all about it and stuff, and then I'm gonna like rewatch the movies because I own them all. But just not in the mood. And it's such a big book that I like just don't have the time to sit down and read because of the baby. So I did put my name down. I'm on the wait list for this with Libby. Just literally forgot I had it. I should probably set this aside because I have read all the rest of Alice Oseman's books that I own and I love them. I find them very easy to read. Just a random book. I read like vampire witchy books around Halloween, so I haven't read this yet. This is the whole series of A Wrinkle in Time, and I love the movie A Wrinkle in Time, so I thought I would buy the books, and they were like super cheap secondhand bookstore. And then I listened to the Wrinkle in Time audiobook and I never finished it because it's literally the exact same as the movie. So I feel like I should just jump right into A Wind in the Door, which is the second one, because I already know everything that happened. Like, I remember it very well. One last stop, listened to an audiobook, didn't like it, gonna give it another shot eventually. How to Raise an Anti-Racist. Again, it's more of like an activity book, a note-taking book, and I haven't had the time to just sit down and read it. My son is obviously mixed. My boyfriend's from the Bahamas. I'm from Canada. So, and he's very light skinned. He's very pale. So I want to make sure that, of course, he's black and he can be like, he can be racist towards white people, but he could like be very hateful towards black people someday maybe, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure to read this and educate him how I can.
Hi, Editing Jalen here. Also, there's like internalized racism, so I don't want him to ever feel like that, especially since like he's so light skinned that he would like feel disconnected from his own community and then like be hateful towards himself. Yeah, I don't want any of that to happen, and since I'm a white woman, I don't really have the tools to educate him on things like that, so I'm gonna rely on books as much as I can because my boyfriend also has never experienced that because he's black, right? So neither one of us are mixed. We don't know the experience of being mixed, so I just want to be as prepared as possible on when questions come up, things come up, how I can teach him how to be kind and loving towards everybody regardless of the race, and how to also love himself even if he may feel like he doesn't fit into either category. I just want to raise him right.
Haven't been in the mood. Haven't been in the mood. Honestly, the Zodiac Academy is just a big book, and I know it's a lot of world building and it's like fantasy-esque, so I haven't gotten to yet, and maybe I should start it in Gemini season because the first one is on Geminis. That'd be really cool. I should read that then. My sister's a Gemini actually. But it's like a big book. Like the pages are long and it's 400 and something. Like if it was the size of a normal book, it'd be like at least probably 600 pages. Another Disney book. Haven't read this one yet. Very excited to read it. Like the other one, I just haven't like been in the mood for like that more fairy tale thing. I think this is another series. Yes, it is. It is the series of The School of Good versus Evil, or Good and Evil. Love the movie, so I was like, oh my god, there's books, I need them. So I just got the whole series because it comes in like a pack again, and it's cheaper that way. Didn't know there was a 5th one coming out, so I'm a little bit upset about it, but haven't read these because I just haven't been in the mood. I like the movies a lot more because one character is black, one character is white, and I like the diversity. But I'm sure I will like this one too. Becoming Michelle Obama. I got this like before I was into reading. I got this because I love Michelle Obama. But yeah, I got this years ago and I started reading it and then never finished it, but I did learn a couple of new things and it was cool. Definitely keeping it forever, and eventually I hope to read it because I just love her and Barack Obama. Started this as a buddy read with my friend, and honestly it's like a slow burn, but like not a slow burn romance, just like a slow burn book. Like it took forever to get to the plot, and it's a spoonful of murder, and eventually I will reread it. I tabbed some moments, and like I have my little tabs in here so we could like things to talk about. But yeah, I'm hoping if I read it again I'll enjoy it. Okay, these are exciting. Rakeem got me these for my birthday, and I actually listened to Fourth Wing on Libby, and I loved it so much that I'm like, okay, I need it. And I've never felt like that before, and usually the books I listen to on Libby are only books I own, but I was like, I need to read Fourth Wing, and like I can't, like, I'm Canadian, this is expensive, like this is like 40 bucks. So I'm like, I'm not spending 40 bucks on a book I might not like. I want to listen to it on Libby. Loved it. I can't wait to like reread it. I've never felt like that before, and tab things, and I was like, okay, well now the second one I need. He bought me both, and this one's black pages, obviously not the inside, but like look how cool that looks when you're reading it. So cool. Anne of Greenvale, just haven't really been in the mood for a retelling, I guess, because it's like a retelling of Anne of Green Gables. I loved the original so much, Living on Prince Edward Island, but eventually I will try it. The Heart of the Sun Warrior, I think I have the first one. I think I already talked about the first one. Haven't been into mythology, haven't read the first one, so I can't read the second one. Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, honestly forgot I had this. I'm gonna put it on my emergency read pile. The Thursday Murder Club, I think this one sounds really, really good. In a peaceful retirement village, four unlikely friends meet weekly in a jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. I gotta read this. This sounds really good, but I'm not putting it in my pile. It's not that important. And Ithaca, I haven't read this yet. Again, not in my mythology era, but I love all the mythology books I have. I really need to start dividing my books as like themes or like genres instead of just throwing them on the bookshelf and whatever fits goes, because eventually like I might be back in my mythology era, but like I don't even know what all books I have, because half are in my room and half are in the rec room, because I just don't have enough room on my bookshelf. So I've really got to figure out a way to do that. I can't wait for us to have our own house eventually, so I can have like, I want like a big bookshelf in the living room to like put all my books in pretty. Sisterhood, again, another mythology book. Not in the mood. This is a series of unfortunate events, and I love the Netflix show, I love the movie, so I bought the whole series, and I have read up to the third book. They're very like kid books. Like I didn't expect them to be so juvenile, because the show and the movie honestly don't give off juvenile vibes, but the books are very much juvenile. But the shows only go up to, I think the shows only go up to the 5th book, and it's like the book is a copy and paste of this, so it's kind of like boring to me. But I think once I get past what I already know, it might be a little better. And I made sure to get like this cover because I like the cartoon ones. I'm not into like the movie covers or the show covers, so I might throw 2 of these in the read, because I honestly just want to get through them, and then I might like donate them to a local library or bookstore, and yeah, maybe my school would like it. I don't know. Real Vampires Hate Skinny Jeans. Again, it's more of like a Halloween-esque book, fall type book, and I know like these aren't like scary, like they're like cute, but I don't want to read it unless it's fall. The Near Witch, just again, it's more of like a fall book I have. In the fall I wasn't reading because my son was 2 months old, and it's demanding being a mother, so I just wasn't prioritizing my off time to read. This is Tijan contre Acadiens, and it's like Acadian stories, and it's an old book, and like you can tell I bought it in Quebec at like a book sale type thing. Just haven't read it, but I want to keep it because it's Acadian stories and it's like super cool. And Ducks. Okay, if you haven't heard about Ducks, it is about a girl who like went to university or college, whatever, had a huge student loan, and went and worked 2 years in the oil sands to pay off her student loans. It only took 2 years, but it's about her experience, and it's a graphic novel, super easy to read. And trigger warning, it has like some pretty graphic and horrible things that happened to her, and it's her true story. Anyway, I like having one graphic novel on hand at all times, and I read all the rest of them. So until I get another one that I'm less interested in than this one, I will read this one. It's just I like to always have one on hand. And it's called Ducks because apparently like thousands of ducks died because of the oil sands. It's really sad. Anyway, they talk about it in the book, but It's like a very well-known Canadian graphic novel. Okay, we're on our last pile. I thought this would take like 10 years. I don't really have an excuse for not reading most of these, so I haven't really been able to like harp on it and like talk about it forever. Just trying to get these a little closer. Okay. Big Boy Babble. Again, I feel like I am too stupid to read this, but I bought it because I was like, I'm an academic, I'm intelligent, I use big words, I know things. But then once I got it, I was like, oh, this is big, and I'm like reading it and I'm like, I don't even know how to read that word in my head. So it's just like scary and intimidating. I hope that eventually somebody will be like, can we read it together? Maybe Sarah Grace, do you own it? I don't know. Does somebody want to buddy read Babel with me? Because if I could like talk to somebody about it, that would be great. Because I'm like scared to get into it. Real Vampires, Live Laugh Love, another Real Vampires, again same reason as the other one. If You Tell, just no interest. Phantom of the Opera, classic, again, just not really into classics right now. This one, I also have this one. The Vow of Thieves and the Dance of Thieves. This is another set that I'm like, Sarah Grace, did you buy these for me or are these yours? That's why I haven't read them yet. I can't remember because she bought me so many good books, but I have a feeling that these are actually hers. If they are, message me. I messaged her a couple weeks ago and I'm like, I stole some of your books here, and she's like, which ones? And I'm like, I don't know, these if they are, let me know, I'll give them to you. Sherlock Holmes and the Christmas Demon. I started this a couple times, but like it wasn't like, I bought this before I was into reading. Like I bought this when I liked Sherlock Holmes, so I just haven't read it, and it's a Christmas book, so won't be read till Christmas. One of Us Is Next. Just not really into like that style book right now. Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. This is a book I really want to get to. I'll read the back right quick because it's super simple and easy. Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. Some of us, the high achievers, have killed many more. Whoa. Some of us, the high achievers, have killed more than one. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it is the truth. Some of us are good, others are bad, and some just unfortunate. Have I killed someone? Yes, I have. Who was it? Let's get started. And then it's like, everyone in my family has killed someone. My stepbrother, my stepmom, my wife, my father, my mother, my sister-in-law, my uncle, my stepfather, my aunt, and me. I just feel like it's very vague, and I'm like, that sounds really cool. This would be a really good buddy read, I think. The Rosie Effect and the Rosie Project. I honestly have no idea what these are about. This is when I was getting into reading. My mom bought me these before I like kind of knew what style books I liked, and I just have never been interested in reading it. Okay. Apparently the video shut off and I didn't know, so I need to re-talk about these three, which is totally fine. As Good as Dead. Haven't read this yet because I just finished Good Girl Bad Blood, so I just haven't gotten to it yet. It's not like top priority. I really like I really like Holly Jackson's reads. This series is very easy to read, easy to get into, so I just don't want to finish it. So I'm gonna save this for like a special occasion. Panic. This is actually a book that I didn't pick out. Rakeem picked out for me because I was like in this mood to read a different book, and I was like, hey, pick out a book for me at Indigo, and he picked this because it's a thriller, very much his style. And I was intrigued too because it is actually an original series on Prime Video. So eventually when I'm done reading it, we could watch it on Prime, which would be really cool. I'm just not in a thriller mood. And the last one is actually kind of a stupid one to end on, but it is Zodiac Academy, The Awakening as Told by the Boys. Basically, I thought this was the first book, and I was so excited to find it because my local Indigo never had the first book. So I got this one, I was like, yes, the first book finally. No, it's the first book told from another point of view of the boys that are Geminis. And I was actually so upset when I found out, but now I have this. So eventually, after I read the first one, I can read this if I want. It's like a 1.5 book. Like, you don't need to read it, but you can. Let's talk about right quick. Let's just finish off with, instead of that stupid book, we will talk about the books I have on my like current TBR now. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna read them anytime soon. It's just like books I'm like interested in reading that I have. Le Petit Prince, because it'll be a short read. It's a child's book and it's French, so I want to like, you know, get back into the French. I'm going back to work soon, and it's just a special place that holds a special part in my heart. And my teacher always said, no matter where you are in life, you can reread this and you'll like take something new from it. So I'm very excited to do that. Making Love with the Land, short stories from Indigenous writers. Very excited to get into this. I've never read a short story collection before, so I'm very excited to read this. The actual first book of the Zodiac Academy. Again, big boy, don't know when I'll get to it, but I'm like excited, thinking about saving it for Gemini season since it's the Gemini book. I Was Born for This from Alice Oseman. I love Alice Oseman's writing. It's very simple, easy. I love like the LGBTQ plus aspect of it. I love supporting the LGBTQ plus community and the POC community. So definitely excited for this one. Everyone in my family has killed someone, just seems super intriguing. Book 4 and book 5 in A Series of Unfortunate Events, because I honestly just want to get through this series so I can get rid of it. Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. I have been wanting to read this book for so long, and again, I love supporting the POC community and Black authors that honestly are anything but white men, okay? But white men, some white authors are okay, just, you know, not all of them. And I want to read this. Thank you guys so much for following along. If you guys have any book recommendations, or if any of my books really spoke to you and you like read them and you're like, please read these, or if you were like just intrigued by the name and you want me to read it, let me know, because maybe I could do like a video of like you guys picking my reads. Should I do that over on Instagram? I could do like a month of you guys picking my reads. I mean, I sometimes only read a book a month. Anyway, that's it. I need to clean up these books before my baby needs me. Thank you for watching. Bye.